Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. It is a beautiful Tuesday episode. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying your day and your week. I know we've had a lot of crazy things happen over the last couple of days. Oh my goodness, it's been a whirlwind of things. I won't lie to you. You know, we had obviously Charlie Kirk's assassination. We had 9/11 and just all these school shootings, and it has been wild. I will not lie to you. It has been very, very wild. Oh my goodness. I hope that you as an individual, though, you guys have been doing well, doing okay. You know what I mean? Surviving through the pandemonium that has been going on, because I won't lie to you, man. It's getting scary out in the world. It really, really is. It's getting very, very scary out in the world, because it makes you think almost like, damn, where is society going? It's like, 2025 has been a roller coaster. It has been a very, very crazy roller coaster, and it just makes you think, like, we have legitimately 3 more months left of this year. What else can go wrong, at this point? So, I just hope that you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys, are coming here and looking for a bit of change of pace, and looking for some entertainment instead of all the craziness that's going on over there. We got a good show for you guys. So, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure to check in with you guys. Make sure you guys are doing good, man, because I hope that you guys are doing good. I know, mental health and just health in general has been a top priority for everybody's priority list lately, just because of everything that's going on. So let's get on into today's thread. Today's thread is, what's the creepiest, most unexplainable thing you've seen with your own eyes? All right. So let's see what's going on. It wasn't creepy while it was happening because I was so young, but in hindsight, it's pretty weird and a bit disturbing. When I was very young and shared a bedroom with my little sister, I woke up one night to the sound of puppies whimpering. I looked under my bed and there were 2 puppies, one black, one brown, and white. I woke my little sister and we crawled under the bed to interact with the puppies, never questioning where they came from. We were very young. Eventually, our dad heard us and yelled through the door to go to bed, so we did. Never saw those puppies again. I asked my sister about this recently, and she still remembers it too. Oh my goodness. I wonder what happened to them. First off, how did they get there? You know what I mean? Like, how did they get there? And then how did they just magically disappear? Like, what could have happened to them? Because I would think the same thing as a kid. You know what I mean? You see some puppies and you're like, oh my God, they're so cute. And you play with them and whatnot. And then on top of that, why didn't the dad come in and be like, oh, where did those dogs come from? Or, oh, those are for so-and-so. Like, wow. Okay. That one has already got my brain melting. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That one's got your boy's brain melting. Oh my goodness. Craziness. Okay. Yeah, that is unexplainable. Very unexplainable. What's the creepiest, most unexplainable thing that you've seen with your own eyes? Not creepy, but still freak out material. My mom passed several months prior. I woke up around 3 a.m. with the lights on in the living room and the TV was on at full volume. I walk out of my room into the living room and my mom is sitting in my rocker slash swivel chair, knitting with her back to me. TV at full blast, all the lights on. I turned to look at the clock. It was 3:44 a.m. and I looked back and it was dark. TV off and nobody in the chair, but an Afghan my mom knitted for me. I lost it. What? She said, not creepy. Hell yeah, that's fucking creepy. Are you kidding me? Imagine your mom passes away, right? And then you wake up and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Why are the lights on in the living room? You go out in the living room and you see your mom and like she's knitting and the TV's on full blast or whatever. And you turn around, you see the time, you turn back around, TV's off, mom's gone, lights are off. And perceivably what she was knitting is laying on the, like what? If that happened to me, dude, I would be like, please, Jesus, tell me I am hallucinating or I'm dreaming and I just gotta like pinch myself to wake up or something because nah, bro. Nah, man, that's some demon activities, man. That's some demon activities, bro. There ain't, nah. I'd be like, I'm moving. I am moving. That's some paranormal activity, demon activities right there. No, bro. Oh, man. I mean, I hope that never happened to her again. Or like, you know, whoever she's dated has like dealt with, you know, some crazy shit happening to them because, woo, yeah, that's some paranormal activity shit right there. That is definitely some paranormal activity shit right there. God damn. Woo. Oh, we coming out with the heat on this one. All right, what's the creepiest, most unexplainable thing that you've seen with your own eyes? I don't think I've ever written this down. Way back when I was learning to ride a bike, probably like around the 1980s, I had a typical little kid two-wheel bike with training wheels. One night I left it over at the neighbor's. No big deal because I could see it out my window and it was fine when I went to bed. We lived in a suburban neighborhood where the houses were very close. Just to paint the picture, this was during an era when kids played cowboys and Indians, dressed up as Native Americans for Halloween, watched The Lone Ranger that night. I dreamed that a Native American in full headdress, face paint, moccasins, etc. came into the neighborhood yard and broke the training wheels off my bike. When I went to check the next morning, the training wheels were broken off the bike. Oh shit. Not just removed, but broken in pieces. Just like in my dream. I kind of felt like no one was properly freaked out about this at the time, but it stayed with me as a vivid memory for almost 50 years. Wow. The happy ending is I never got new training wheels and learned to ride the bike without them. That's insane. What the heck? Wow. He pretty much had a dream about an Indian breaking off his training wheels, and then he wakes up and the next day he goes checking his bike and the training wheels are broken off his bike. That's crazy. I mean, either that's a wild coincidence or something crazy happened. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, this may sound crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you though. But sometimes I do be thinking that I'll have a dream and then later on down the road, I'll be like, I've seen this before. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I don't know. You know what I mean? You have that deja vu moment, but then you recollect it and you're like, no, that was a dream though. Was it? Maybe it's got to have been a dream, because you're thinking to yourself, like, I know I've seen this scenario before. I know I've seen this happen. All this stuff in the right place, the lighting, like, it all just looks far too familiar. And I do genuinely think that our dreams are like gateways to our parallel selves. You know what I mean? Or like alternate versions of us. And it's a thing where whenever like we're awake and our alternate selves are dreaming, they see through our eyes and they see our lives. And because have you ever had a dream where it felt so real? It felt so real to the point where you were just like, you wake up and you're like, oh shit. Oh man. You know what I mean? Because I've had dreams where I've woken up, gone to work, came home, and then went to sleep. And then I wake up and I'm like, I gotta go to work. I ain't gonna lie to you, I've had those kind of dreams before. And I've also had dreams where like I did some shit and I went to prison and I'm like, oh fuck, this is my life now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in prison, bro. This is crazy. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, woo! I've had dreams where like I've crashed expensive cars and I'm like, no, I'll never be able to pay for this. Like I've had some crazy dreams. And then there's some times where I've had dreams where they're pretty normal. Like nothing crazy happened, but it was just normal. And I'm just like, I don't know. I get that deja vu, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. Like the lighting, the situation, where I'm standing, how I'm standing, how I'm feeling in the moment. Like all of it just feels like deja vu out of nowhere. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy about it. Let me know down in the comments if you've ever had a dream of, of a like something happening in your dream, and then you experience it when you're awake. Or you've had a dream where you are just absolutely living in that motherfucker and you're like, oh my God, this is my life now. Because I've had winning the lottery dreams. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I've had there was one dream. It was weird. I had won the lottery and then I bought a mall, and all the stores in the mall, I was like, yeah, I get everything for free because I'm the owner of the mall. And so I had all these cool, gadgets and toys and all kinds of shit. And I woke up and I was like, where's my mall? You know what I mean? I was like, wait, God damn it, I don't own my mall anymore? Damn, that sucks. Oh, shit. All right. Let's continue on with the thread. What's the creepiest, most unattainable thing or unexplainable thing that you have seen with your own eyes? When I was around 4 years old, I remember looking out of my bedroom window and seeing cars driving through our side yard. Instead of looking like our yard, it looked like an actual road, and the cars were old-fashioned, looking like from the 1940s. This was the 1970s. Our house was in a plan of homes with pretty large lots, and the through street ran in a completely different area. Naturally, I was frightened by what I saw and ran to tell my mother and older sister. They dismissed it and said I was either dreaming or making things up. I guess I can't really blame them for that. My sister occasionally would tease me about it over the years, and for some reason, every time I was in that part of the yard, I would get a creepy feeling that I shouldn't be there. I must have been about 12 or 13, and my grandmother was visiting. She told my sister and me that when she was a young girl, our neighbor was part of a farm, and the main road used to run through our side yard. And the road was moved when the farm was broken up into housing lots. My sister and I looked at each other. All I could say was, yes, I knew it. Years later, I found aerials and maps online that proved the road was there until the 1940s. That's crazy. So he pretty much just had, I don't know if he was dreaming or what, but whatever he was seeing, he was legitimately like peering into the past. That's kind of crazy, if I'm being honest with you. I think he was probably dreaming, and like, it's one of those things where, you kind of fall asleep and you have one of those really vivid ass lucid dreams where you're waking up and you can clearly see your room. You can clearly see, things that are around you. But some things are not what they should be or how they seem. And you're kind of just like, wait a minute, and it kind of lets you know that you're dreaming in that moment. I kind of think that that's what he had, and he was maybe too young to like realize that, and this was also in the 1960s. So they didn't really understand the concept of like lucid dreaming and, dream patterns and dreamscapes and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? They were a lot more like conservative. Oh, no. You know what I mean? Your mind's playing tricks on you, man. Don't worry about it. You'll be all right. So I'm sure that's probably what it was. He was lucid dreaming it. And again, you never know. It could have been a thing where he was dreaming and peered into again, a parallel version of him or an alternate version of him where that road is still there. You know what I mean? That road is still there. It's like, I don't know. My theory. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. All right. What's the creepiest, most unexplainable thing that you have seen with your own eyes? Was out front my parents' house at night with a friend. He was having a smoke while I was chatting away. For about 5 or 7 seconds, the whole sky went bright blue. It was like blue daylight. Everything completely visible, but bluish, along with a high-pitched ringing for a couple of seconds. We were just staring, and then it suddenly stopped. I said, hey, did you happen to see that? He said, yeah, and that's all we said about it. I messaged him maybe 10 years later when I was with friends telling spooky experience stories. Just said, hey, do you remember that thing that we saw? Can you tell me what you saw and heard? His response was all the details. He responded with all the details. Freaked all my friends out when I let them scroll through the past messages to prove we hadn't set it up and actually fell out of touch a fair while ago. Wow, that's crazy. What that most likely was is you guys saw a meteor. You guys saw a meteor literally cross past the earth as close as it could possibly be, because that's the only time I could ever think of something like that happening. That's crazy. That is crazy. That would definitely freak me the fuck out. I ain't gonna lie to you. That would definitely, like, it's nighttime and then I don't know, it's just like it's like instantly daytime, you know what I mean? Instant fucking daytime, and then all of a sudden it's like now you're back to nighttime. But yeah, I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. You saw a meteor, Yeah. I would love for it to be aliens or some shit, but I don't know. I highly doubt that. A meteor kind of sounds a little more like plausible, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, man, damn. That is cool. That is definitely cool. Okay, we'll do 2 more in this thread. What's the creepiest, most unexplainable thing that you've seen with your own 2 eyes? I have a brother who is 8 years older than me. My mom used to talk about creepy grinning versions of my brother that she and a babysitter saw when he was little. It seemed to age with him, and my mom saw him multiple times. The babysitter saw him once and freaked the fuck out. I saw him when I was in high school. My brother worked multiple jobs and was gone a lot. To help him out and make some extra cash, I would clean his room and do his laundry for him each week. I would usually stay up late Saturday nights to watch Mad TV and SNL while folding laundry. I started feeling like I was being watched, but my brother was at work and everyone else was asleep. I turned my back to look. There was my brother peeking around the wall of the hallway at me with a super creepy grin on his face. All I could see were his hands holding the wall and his head sticking out the corner. But that grin was freaky. I instantly thought my brother was messing with me, so I said something along the lines of, fuck off, and looked back to the TV. Then I remembered that he wasn't even home. And he wasn't even home, and the hairs on my arms stood up. I looked back and he was gone. But the next morning, I told my mom what I had seen, and she just nodded in understanding. It was almost as freaky as the time I would catch something out of the corner of my eye or hear something late at night and try to ignore it, only for my dog to start growling and facing the same direction. That house had some weird shit sometimes, bro. I don't think that was ever your brother making those creepy faces. I think y'all had a motherfucking demon, bro. I don't know, man. I know there's a lot of people that don't really believe in that. They don't believe in the manifestations of demons and things like that. But I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Sometimes there be some creepy shit that happens, and there's sometimes there be some creepy shit that be going on. And, sometimes you guys, you buy a house that, seems great and all that kind of stuff, and you don't know that kid might be buried under the floorboards or some shit. You never fucking know. Bro, that is extremely scary. That is extremely scary to see something like that and then realize like, that's probably just my brother being weird. My mom and babysitter have seen that before, and then you're like, wait a minute, he's not here, and then you turn around and it's gone. And it's gone? Bro, crazy, man. Hopefully they're still doing well, and they do not have any of this craziness still happening to them, because not me, Jesus. Not me, Jesus. Oh, I couldn't handle something like that. Oh, no. No. All right. What's the creepiest, most unexplainable thing that you have seen with your own two eyes? This will be our last one, and then we'll get into announcements, and then we'll move on to scenarios. Not creepy per se, but definitely unexplained. Was riding shotgun with my family through a pretty dense populated area in Central Florida during broad daylight and looked out the window to see a group of 6 to 7 people in either colonial or what I could presume to be Amish. If I'm rationalizing, dress standing around the narrow strip of grass in front of the opening or the operating Burger King restaurant. Digging a hole in the ground with a shovel, the man was in a black frock coat and pants and a black wide brimmed hat. And the women were all in long skirts and kerchiefs and bonnets. Nobody else saw it. The fact that it was on the Burger King, it was on the Burger King property is probably what perturbs me the most. I think it was a thing where this has probably been happening for a minute and they're just like, shit, the crazy people are back. You know what? Fuck it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, you see this weird occurrence all the time. You kind of just ignore it and pretend like it's not even there. And so then when people who don't see it every day, they see it and they're just like, what the fuck? Do you guys see that? And you're just like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you don't see that? And they're like, what? They're digging a hole? You know what I mean? And so I think that was kind of the situation when it came to that. It's weird that they'd be Amish. I don't know why they would be in civilization at all, because from my understanding is that Amish people don't like civilization at all. They, it's why they live where they live, and they don't really venture out as much. You know what I mean? I'm sure there are some people, as they say, they make a pilgrimage. Yeah, I that's what I think it is. I think it was a thing where they see these crazy motherfuckers out there all day, every day, and they're like, just ignore them. You know what I mean? Just leave them to their own devices. It is what it is. And so when somebody who doesn't see that every day, they're like, you see that? What the fuck? Yeah, and they're like, well, you see what? You know, it kind of makes you feel crazy a little bit. You're like, you don't see that? And they're like, nah, I really don't see what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Hey, there are some crazy shit that be happening in the world. I ain't gonna lie to you. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you have a story or scenario, or you've seen something or something's happened to you that you just can't explain and you're like, what the fuck, man? Definitely put it down in the comments and let me know, all right? Well, that's going to go ahead and be the end of that thread. We'll go ahead and hop through announcements super quick, and then we'll get right into today's scenarios, okay? So, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Oh, goodness. Patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get an episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday shows, all right? If you are a full paid or a full paying Patreon member, or you are a 7-day free trial member, you can also listen to all of the Patreon episodes on Spotify. All right, there is a link down in the description. It'll say Patreon, Spotify link. You click that. As long as you're a full member, you have access to all those episodes there, and which is great because you don't have to. If you're an audio listener already, guess what? You don't have to listen to them on Patreon. You can stay on your audio platform, which is awesome. I think it's only on Spotify. So if you're on Apple Podcasts or anything like that, you might have to go over to Patreon to Spotify for it. But hey, it's a convenience thing. I look at it like, I'd rather it be very convenient for people so that way they don't have to be on the Patreon website to consume the content. So, I think it's a W. Hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely get down there and sign up for the Patreon if you are interested. We do have a 7-day free trial, so that way you can check it out for 7 days, absolutely free. See if you like it. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for all of the downloads as well as the support on the shows, man. You guys have been killing the support, and I appreciate that so very much. I do love keeping up with my analytics and keeping up with you guys all over the world. It is so cool to see the reach that the show is starting to have, which is amazing. We're reaching people outside of the U.S., in different countries and all kinds of stuff. So I think it's really cool. So thank you guys for all that support. Rate us 5 stars if you haven't already on your preferred platform. And yeah, man, all that is for free and it helps out a lot. If you want to help out even more on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. Subscribing to us on YouTube helps out a lot. Huge help. And yeah, man, I appreciate all of the support that you guys have been showing so far. If you guys enjoy live streams, we do live stream every Friday, Sunday, and Monday. So if you ever want to come out, check out his live stream, hang out with us, talk some ish, have a good time, you definitely can. If you want to recommend a game for us to stream, I have a section for that in our Discord, so you can join the Discord. The Discord link is down in the description. Join the Discord, and yeah, we're always posting funny memes and hanging out and having a good time. The Discord also does have a notification center, so that way you are notified when we start live streams, when episodes go up, when short form content goes up, pretty much anything you could think of. Whenever we're doing content, you'll be notified through the Discord. But yeah, I mainly use the Discord to just kind of talk to you guys and joke around and have a good time. So yeah, that's really what that is. All right, but let's get on into today's scenarios. All right. Our first one is, am I the asshole for not doing a free tattoo on a cancer patient? Okay. So I'm a tattoo artist and I'm fairly early on in my career. The fall/winter is known to be the slowest months in tattoo, so I try to reach out to people directly. I had followed up with a client I haven't tattooed/met her yet. She just DM'd me for a consultation. I texted her following up on the tattoo we discussed, and she responds saying that it's not the time to get tattooed since life is hectic right now, which I totally understand, but then she sends me this message quoted below, and or she sends me this message. Let me see what the message was. Oh, the message she sent me, let me know if you're willing to do a free cancer tattoo. LOL. So that's the message that she sent. And I don't know how to feel about it. Her brother was diagnosed with cancer and she asked if I would tattoo him for free. I have gifted tattoos before, but it felt weird to me for someone to ask for a free tattoo directly. I feel like she put me in a position if I say no, I'll be known as the artist who won't do charity. Word of mouth is really important in the industry to build clientele. The last sentence she typed is kind of what got me. It felt a little guilt trippy. She also didn't mention what he wanted tattooed, so there was no it's his dying wish to have this, or he's always wanted this tattoo. It was just kind of like, hey, can I pay for a tattoo, but would you tap my brother for free? If I'm doing a good deed, I'd want to do it out of the kindness of my heart, not from being cornered. Am I the asshole if I tell her I could only do a discounted tattoo and not a free one? I get that you have to make money. I get that tattooing is a business. I get that, this is a tough situation. I personally probably would have just done the tattoo. If I'm being honest with you, I probably would have just done the tattoo for free. I would have, charged her and I would have did his tattoo for free. I would have put some parameters on it, of course, like, hey, we can only do, dark, black and gray. You can only do it so big, you know what I mean? And let them go off of that. That way you're not spending hours upon hours on like a big ass piece that you're doing for free. And then on top of that, you still get to do something nice. So in the way of how you're thinking about it now, charging her and then doing a discounted tattoo for him. Yeah, I kind of think you're the asshole because, again, you as the tattoo artist, you can put parameters on this free tattoo. Like, hey, I'm doing this tattoo for free. So if I'm doing this tattoo for free, then it could only be yay big and black and gray. And that's it. I'm not putting any color in it. It'll be yay big and that's that. Because you as the artist, you have to realize that your time is your money. So it's a thing where if you're working on a 3-4 hour piece and you're doing this fucking charity piece for 3 to 4 hours and clientele happen to come in and you're not able to be available to tattoo them or, consultate with them, you're losing out on money. And I get that. And that's the reason why you kind of don't want to do this tattoo for free. But I look at it like you could put parameters on it because that's what they do for Friday the 13th tattoos. That's what they do for I know some shops do like your birthday. So like, if you bring in your ID and it's the day of your birthday, they'll give you like a small tattoo or whatever, you know what I mean? They'll give you like a book to choose out from. And they're like, hey, yeah, it'll only be black and gray. And it'll only be like yay big or whatever. Some shops do that. Not all shops do that. But you know what I mean? Like they run these kind of free promotions or like discounted promotions where, you can do it. But they put the parameters on the tattoos. And I think that's what you can do. That's what I would have done. I would have told them, all right, I'll do the free tattoo. But it can only be black and gray. And it only can be so big. You know what I mean? It only can be yay big. And that way you're not spending hours on a fucking tattoo that you're doing for free. And he still gets a tattoo. She still gets a tattoo. She pays for hers. I think everybody would win in that situation, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, so I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments, though. All right. On to our next one. Am I overreacting for breaking off engagement 3 weeks before wedding because fiance got fired? Oh. I, 26 female, broke off my engagement with my fiance, 26 male, after he was fired from his job for a second time. We have been together for over 5 years, and about a year into our relationship, he was fired from being a cop. He was told that he wasn't being proactive enough and was sitting in the office on the internet too much. He was given the option to quit or be fired, which in my eyes is essentially being fired. I was upset at the time, but figured we'd work through it. He bounced around jobs for about half a year until he suggested that he go back to school. So until I suggested that he go back to school. He had a previous associate's degree, so he was quickly able to get a bachelor's in IT. While going to school, he got a government IT job. He has been at the job for a little over 3 years now. We moved into a house together last October. I purchased it alone, but he moved in with me, and we got engaged in November. We were supposed to get married tomorrow, September 5th. I thought everything was going well until 3 weeks ago. He got the call that he was being put on administrative leave for inappropriate actions on his work computer. He said he didn't know what he did and that he doesn't know why he is on administration leave. After a week, I finally got him to admit what he was doing on his computer. He finally told me he has an addiction to inappropriate internet content. I knew he watched it, but never realized it got to the point of an addiction. He was generating inappropriate AI content on his work computer and it got flagged. My nigga. Look, man, I get being horny, bro. Alright? I get being horny and wanting to beat your meat. But, dude, just wait till you get home. Wait till you get home, my guy. Oh, shit. So now he is on administrative leave. He hasn't officially been fired yet, but I don't see how he won't be. He decided to cancel the wedding and split apart for now. Also, we decided to cancel the wedding and split for apart for now. He has moved back to his parents' house while he figures things out. He has started going to therapy to get help for his addiction and is starting to look for new career fields and figure out what to do. He is my best friend and I love him so much, but how do I let this go? After he was fired the first time, I said that it was too stressful and that he needed to make sure he was never fired again. I feel that I deserve someone who works hard and will be committed to having a consistent job for our future. Am I overreacting for calling off our wedding and saying we need to take a break from our relationship? Ooh, damn. All right. Yeah, look. In this situation, I do not think that you are overreacting. I don't, because dude needs to get his shit together, man. He needs to get his shit together, and the fact that he's kind of dropping the ball the way he is, it puts her in a position where she doesn't feel secure in this relationship, let alone when she feels secure in a marriage with him. And so she kind of looks at it like, bro, if you can't hold down a job, there's no way I want to be married to a man that I have to constantly take care of. You know, so I understand why she's doing it. You know what I mean? I really do. You got to understand that for women, you know, women operate on Briffelt's Law. And Briffelt's Law states that when the female no longer sees value or usefulness in the male, she then discards the male. And, this is a study that they did on many animals. They did this study on a few of like human couples and stuff like that. So, it is a very reputable, like, I guess you would say data point, if you will, when it comes to relationships and dating and stuff like that. And so I think that's pretty much what she's doing, is she looks at it like this guy is becoming unfit for me as a partner, and so I need to find something new. And that's why I don't think she's overreacting, because, dude, this is just a natural, this is a natural biological reaction that she's having to her dude becoming inadequate. He was adequate, and then, he had some rough patches. She felt like, there's nothing too horrible about it. You know what I mean? Everyone has a bad moment. You know what I mean? It's fine. He got back on his feet, and she was like, yeah, it was good to, give him that chance. But then once this kind of happened again, and it was his fault, it was his negligence, she kind of realized, I don't know if I want to go through this a third time. Sure, he could probably get back on his feet, get a job, go to this therapy, do all this, but how long is this going to last before I'm dealing with this again? And then we're going to be in a full-blown marriage. What if we have children and then we're dealing with this? She is looking at the future, and the future ain't looking bright with you, my guy. Let's just be honest here. So, again, I don't think you're overreacting, because she is looking at it like, bro, the future with you is cooked. You know what I mean? Future with you is cooked. I can't see myself with you in the future. I don't see this being a thing, and I don't see it being a long-term thing, because you can't keep a job. You have problems, and I don't want to be the one to have to constantly clean up after your problems. And that's really what it comes down to with this guy. So you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. But yeah, I don't think she's overreacting at all. You know what I mean? Crazy enough. Okay, yes. Okay, on to our next one. Got cheated on by my girlfriend with over 4 different guys.
She belongs to the streets.
Woo! So I'm at my house and my girlfriend's in the shower. I wanted to call one of my mates, so I go to get my phone in the kitchen. Turns out I can't find it, so I call out to my girlfriend asking if I can use her phone to call my phone so I can hear the ring and find it. She answers yes, so I grab her phone, put in the password, and go to the phone app. As I'm there, I start looking for my name, and I see there are about 4 to 7. Hold up, you just said 4 guys. It's up to 7 dudes? Jesus. Other guys' names on here. I didn't really care, because it's not like I didn't trust my girlfriend or anything. But as I find my name, I call it, a notification pops up. Let's just say it was from Trump. It reads, "Hi babe, want to come over to my place? I was thinking of another date today." Oh, I'm fucking shocked. I started going through some of her messages and realized that I'm being cheated on with over 4 different guys. Oh, no. That's crazy. And I guarantee you, these other guys probably think that they're her boyfriend too. That's why he's like, "Hey, babe." Because if he was a side piece dude, I don't think he would use babe. He'd probably just be like, "Hey, yo, you trying to come over?" You know what I mean? With a little winky face or some shit. Yeah, because you gotta understand, like, dudes, when we're side dudes, we know we're side dudes. We know it. We just enjoying the coochie, and then we send your ass back to your mans or whatever that is. But when we actually think that, you know what I mean, it's going somewhere, we about to date and all this shit, yeah, we gonna use the babe and the baby and my girl and all this kind of shit. So, yeah, bro, that's crazy. I chalk it up to the fact that she's probably the type of girl where she doesn't get enough attention from just one guy. She can't satisfy her need for attention just through one guy. So she's got to get it through, multiple guys. She's got to get it through, she's got to constantly have that, oh, tell me I'm pretty. And you know what I mean? So, when he's at work, she with boyfriend number 3. If those two dudes are at work, she's got boyfriend number 4. If, he's with his moms and that dude's at work and that dude is busy with friends, she got boyfriend number 3. You know what I mean? So it's a thing where I think she constantly needs that validation. She constantly needs that attention, because if she's not getting it, I think she'll just go seek it. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That is absolutely insane. I do hope you broke up with her, man. I do hope you broke up with her, because if you didn't, you're cooked. You're cooked, bro. If you didn't, you're absolutely cooked, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. Hopefully you broke up with her, bro. Hopefully you broke up with her, because I ain't gonna lie to you, that relationship is absolutely cooked. All right, we're gonna get on to our last scenario for today's episode. If you got this far in the episode, love you, appreciate you, thank you so much. Again, patreon.com/MileyAsshole Podcast. Get on there, baby, for that exclusive episode every single Friday. If you are a 7-day free trial member or you are a paid member, go ahead and definitely click that Spotify link down there. Check out all the episodes there. But without further ado, let's get on into this last one. Am I the asshole for waiting until I was financially stable before leaving my wife? Ooh. I've wanted out of my marriage for a little over 6 years now. What? Wow. There was nothing dramatic like cheating or abuse, unless her never-ending condescending attitude counts. She's simply just an emotional vampire who's also super lazy. I rather have to spend all my free time picking up after her. Oh, wait, hold on. I rather have to spend all my free time, picking up after her, or cleaning the house, or live with piles of dirty plates everywhere and flies. We don't have kids, thank God. So I realized I made a mistake a little over 6 years ago, but quickly found out I was stuck. I didn't realize how much housing costs have went up where I live. 30, 40-year-old houses are like $1 million, and even renting a bachelor apartment in a crappy building is like $2,000 a month. Moving isn't an option because of work, so I was stuck. Fast forwarding to now, I basically never let on how I was feeling, and I just checked out mentally. I worked a lot and recently got a big promotion to a high-level management position. I'm now in a spot where I can not only move out, I can live comfortably and even buy a house for myself. I finally told my wife, and she's furious, which I can understand. When I told her I'd been unhappy for a while, she kept asking how long and wouldn't let it go. I told her I've been done for the past 6 years, and she just lost it. She got really mad because I dragged it out and wasted the best years of her life. For me, it was about security. My family isn't close, so I don't have a safety net. I don't have anyone I can stay with, so I needed to make sure I could stand on my own. Am I the asshole for making sure I was financially stable before divorcing? Yeah, you are. You are. And you said it yourself. Let me see. Where was it at? You said I basically never let on how I was feeling and just checked out mentally. That, I think, is where you fucked up, bro. That, the moment I read that, I was like, you fucked up. Because think about it like this. If you would have told her and been honest with her, it's not like she can move out on her own. If I'm being straight with you, bro. You know what I mean? It's not like she can move out on her own either. I get it. She probably would have been able to, move with a friend or something like that, or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, it's like, I think you could have been honest with her and you could have figured it out. You know what I mean? I really do think you could have been honest with her and you could have figured it out as well, instead of taking advantage of the situation, taking advantage of her and her naivety to get a leg up on you. I get why you did it. It makes 100% sense. It does. And I guarantee you if the shoe was on the other foot, she would have done the same exact thing. I ain't arguing that either. All I am saying is that if we're looking at this, morally here, you did kind of fuck her over a little bit, because you could have told her and then you could have let her know, hey, look, I don't really have friends and family and all that kind of stuff. Can we just roommate it up until I'm able to, move out on my own? You can keep this place and everything is straight. I think you guys could have had a conversation. You guys could have talked about it, worked it out, figured something out. And then when you were ready to leave, you could have left a little more amicably and she wouldn't have been as furious as she was. Because I ain't going to lie to you, I think she's got all the right to be that mad. 6 years is crazy. I don't know how you stuck by it 6 years. There ain't no way I could live with somebody for 6 years that I despise. That's insanity to me. So yeah, you already get a blue ribbon for that. That's kind of crazy. But again, I think it's a simple thing where you could have talked to her. You could have told her how you were feeling. You guys probably could have worked this out if you would have talked to her. It was 6 years, bro. You guys could have talked it out. You guys could have worked it out. You guys could have figured things out. But you didn't try at all. You didn't communicate at all. You just shut down and was just like, this is what it is. Bitch is stanky and she this and that. I'll just deal with it until I'm leaving. You guys could have talked. You could have had a conversation. You could have expressed how you were feeling. There was none of that in this. You didn't mention that you guys talked about it. You didn't mention that you guys tried some therapy. You didn't mention that you guys tried solutions, common ground. You guys didn't try anything. You just slogged it out for 6 years and then said, peace, nigga. Bro, of course she's going to be pissed off. Rightfully so. So yeah, I do think you're the asshole. And that's why I read off that one excerpt, because what that one excerpt showed me is that you didn't try at all. You didn't try at all with her. You didn't try to voice your opinions. You didn't try to fix things, talk things out, maybe see if she could compromise. You didn't try anything. You just gave up, saved up some money, got your promotion, and then dipped on her. So that's how I feel about that. You guys let me know what you think about it. That in the comments, as well as all the scenarios and the thread that we've gone over today. Hopefully you guys are able to have a better week than last week. I know last week was just kind of full of crazy drama and wildness going on in the world. So hopefully this week will get better for you guys. And, hopefully it's not affecting you too much in your life and everything like that. So again, love you guys all. I will see you on Thursday for our book episode. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys later and peace.